Hello everyone, today we are looking into the best fiction books of the 20s, going from 2020 to today. A collection of groundbreaking, beautifully written and thought-provoking novels that have captivated readers worldwide. After meticulously researching articles and reviews, ratings on Goodreads, social media reactions and literary awards, I've compiled this list of my top 10 fiction books that defined the decade so far. Each book on this list is here for a reason, whether it's their innovative storytelling, cultural impact, or sheer literary brilliance. Just a quick note, I'm filming this in May, and there may be some upcoming books that could join the list later in the year. For example, Ian McEwan has a new book called What Can We Know, and R.F. Kuang's Catabasis. Ocean Vuong also has a new book called The Emperor of Gladness coming out later in the year. So that's just to name a few. But for now, let's go over my choices of the best books of the 2020s so far. My first pick is James, a novel that has taken both critics and readers by storm since its release. A breathtakingly accomplished retelling of the adventures of Huckleberry Finn from the point of view of the enslaved Jim. Everett's tour de force reclaims the character's voice from the literary margins with power, precision, and dazzling wit. Set in 1861 on the Mississippi River, when the enslaved Jim overhears that he is about to be sold to a new owner in New Orleans and separated from his wife and daughter forever, he flees to nearby Jackson's Island until he can formulate a plan. Meanwhile, Huck Finn has faked his own death to escape his violent father, who recently returned to town. And so begins a dangerous journey along the Mississippi River towards the elusive promise of the free states and beyond. As James and Huck navigate the treacherous waters, each bend in the river holds the promise of both salvation and demise, and together the unlikely pair embark on the most life-changing odyssey of them all. James is an intricately woven narrative that explores identity, belonging, and the complexity of human relationships. Why did it make my list? Simply put, James is a literary triumph, a nuanced portrayal of personal evolution in a world that constantly challenges one's sense of self. The novel's impact is undeniable, making it an essential read of the year. Next, I have chosen Enter Ghost by Isabella Hammad. Set against the backdrop of a politically turbulent Palestine, the novel follows a group of actors trying to stage a production of Hamlet. Hammad masterfully intertwines the personal struggles of the characters with the broader socio-political conflict, making this both a literary and a political narrative. Themes of art as resistance, identity, and displacement are central to the story. After years away from her family's homeland and reeling from a disastrous love affair, actress Sonia Nasir returns to Haifa to visit the older sister Hanin. While Hanin made a life here commuting to Tel Aviv to teach at the university, Sonia remained in London to focus on her acting career and now dissolute marriage. On her return, she finds her relationship to Palestine is fragile, both bone deep and new. When Sonia meets the charismatic and candid Mariam, a local director, she joins a production of Hamlet in the West Bank. Soon, Sonia is rehearsing Gertrude's lines in classical Arabic with a dedicated group of men who, in spite of competing egos and priorities, all want to bring Shakespeare to that side of the wall. As opening night draws closer and the warring intensifies, it becomes clear just how many obstacles stand before the troupe. Amidst it all, the life Sonia once knew starts to give way to the daunting, exhilarating possibility of finding a new self in her ancestral home. Timely, thoughtful, and passionate is an exquisite story of the connection to be found in family and shared resistance. And the novel's critical reception highlights Hammad's skill in blending historical context with deeply personal storytelling, earning accolades from The Guardian and recognition in literary circles for its ambitious scope. Third on my list is The Mirror and the Light by Hilary Mantel. The novel follows Thomas Cromwell, once a powerful advisor to King Henry VIII, as he navigates political intrigue and faces his own downfall. Thematically, the book delves into power, ambition, and the tragic cost of loyalty. Cromwell's story is both grand and intimate, as Mantel skillfully humanizes one of history's most enigmatic figures. The novel's reception was overwhelmingly positive, with the New York Times praising it as a masterclass in historical fiction. Winner of the Booker Prize, it remains a monumental work of literature. The Mirror and the Light is an epic both in scale and emotional depth, solidifying Mantel as one of the finest historical novelists of our time. Next on my list, I have Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, a razor-sharp satire that critiques the publishing industry's exploitation of marginalized voices. The story follows June, a white author who takes credit for her Asian friend's manuscript after the friend's sudden death. As June's deception spirals, the book explores themes of cultural appropriation, privilege, and identity. Yellowface offers an unflinching look at racial dynamics in art and culture while maintaining a compelling, fast-paced narrative. Another great book from the 2020s is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, a gripping sci-fi adventure from the author of The Martian. This story follows Ryland Grace, the sole survivor on a desperate last-chance mission, and if he fails the mission, humanity and the Earth itself will perish. Except that right now, he doesn't even know that. He can't even remember his own name, let alone the nature of his assignment. All he knows is that he's been asleep for a very, very long time, and he's just been awakened to find himself millions of miles from home, with nothing but two corpses for company. With his crewmates dead, his memories fuzzily returning, Ryland realizes that an impossible task now confronts him. Hurtling through space on this tiny ship, it's up to him to puzzle out an impossible scientific mystery and conquer an extinction-level threat to our species. And with the clock ticking down and the nearest human being light years away, he's got to do it all alone. An irresistible interstellar adventure as only Andy Weir could imagine it. Project Hail Mary is a tale of discovery, speculation, and survival to rival The Martian, while taking us to places it never dreamed of going. Thematically, the novel explores isolation, human ingenuity, and survival against insurmountable odds. Critics and readers alike have praised its meticulous science and clever problem-solving, reminiscent of Weir's early work. The book's emotional depth and unexpected friendship with an alien character named Rocky add layers of humanity. Project Hail Mary is a heart-pounding thriller and an ode to scientific discovery. Its unique blend of humour, tension, and interstellar camaraderie makes it a standout hit. Next on my list is Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell, an historical novel that reimagines the life of William Shakespeare's family, focusing on the tragic death of his son, Hamnet. Set in Stratford-upon-Avon during the late 16th century, the story beautifully weaves together themes of grief, love, and the unspoken bonds between family members. The novel's central theme of loss is captured through the lens of Agnes, Shakespeare's wife, whose mystical connection with nature contrasts with the pragmatic realities of life and death. The book's vivid prose and tender exploration of parental grief have made it a favourite among readers and critics alike. Winner of the Women's Prize of Fiction, Hamnet is celebrated for its poetic language and emotional depth. O'Farrell's ability to transform an historical footnote into a profound meditation on love and loss is nothing short of masterful. The novel's timeless exploration of human resilience cements its place among the best fiction of the 2020s. Next is Trust by Hernan Diaz, a complex and layered narrative that explores wealth, power, and the myths of American capitalism. The book revolves around the life of a New York financier, unraveling through multiple perspectives and narrative styles, blending fiction, memoir, and biography. Thematically, Trust challenges the reader to question truth and storytelling, emphasizing how history can be manipulated by those in power. The novel's unique structure, shifting voices, and ambiguous truths have sparked critical acclaim, with the Pulitzer Prize Committee recognizing its innovation in fiction. Provocative and propulsive, Trust engages the reader in a quest for the truth while confronting the deceptions that often live at the heart of relationships. The reality-warping gravitational pull of capital and the ease with which power can manipulate the truth. Diaz's Trust not only tells a compelling story, but also invites readers to scrutinize the legacy of wealth and the stories we choose to believe. Its complexity and relevance make it a significant work of the decade. Next, an uncompromising yet tender and warmly witty exploration of love, pride, and poverty. Shuggie Bain charts the endeavours of its eponymous protagonist, an ambitious and fastidious boy from a dire mining town with a thirst for a better life. It is 1981, Glasgow is dying, and good families must grift to survive. Agnes Bain has always expected more from life. She dreams of greater things, a house with its own front door, and a life bought and paid for outright, like her perfect but false teeth. But Agnes is abandoned by her philandering husband, and soon she and her 3 children find themselves trapped in a decimated mining town. As she descends deeper into drink, the children try their best to save her, yet one by one they must abandon her to save themselves. It is her son, Shuggie, who holds out hope the longest. Shuggie is different. Fastidious and fussy, he shares his mother's sense of snobbish propriety. The miners' children pick on him, and adults concern him. The miners' children pick on him, and adults condemn him as no right. But Shuggie believes that if he tries his hardest, he can be normal like the other boys and help his mother escape this hopeless place. Next on my list is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, a fantasy novel set in a mysterious, sprawling labyrinth. The protagonist, Piranesi, lives alone in a seemingly endless house filled with statues and tides, chronicling his days with meticulous care. The novel explores themes of solitude, memory, and the search for truth, blending elements of myth and allegory. Critics have lauded Clarke's dreamlike prose and the novel's intricate puzzle-like structure. Winner of the 2021 Women's Prize for Fiction, Piranesi is praised for its originality and thought-provoking nature. Clarke's ability to create an enchanting, introspective world where reality blurs with fantasy is extraordinary, making Piranesi a true literary gem. And rounding off my list of the top 10 books of the 2020s so far is Transcendent Kingdom by Gyasi, a profound exploration of family, faith, and addiction. The protagonist, Gifty, is a neuroscience PhD student grappling with her brother's overdose and her mother's depression while trying to reconcile her scientific pursuits with her religious upbringing. As a child, Gifty would ask her parents to tell the story of their journey from Ghana to Alabama, seeking escape in myths of heroism and romance. When her father and brother succumb to the hard reality of immigrant life in the American South, their family of 4 becomes 2, and the life that Gifty dreamed of slips away. Years later, desperate to understand the opioid addiction that destroyed her brother's life, she turns to science for answers. But when her mother comes to stay, Gifty soon learns that the roots of their tangled traumas reach farther than she ever thought. Tracing her family's story through continents and generations will take her deep into the dark heart of modern America. The novel's themes of loss, healing, and the intersection of science and faith are explored with nuance and sensitivity. Gyasi's storytelling has been praised for its introspective depth and eloquent prose. The book resonates with readers for its poignant, intimate portrayal of grief. Transcendent Kingdom stands out for its empathetic portrayal of complex issues, weaving science and spirituality into a deeply human narrative. So there we have it. That was my list of the best books of the 2020s so far. Was your favourite book in my list? If not, let me know in the comments below and make an argument for why it should have been there. For my list, I think each of these novels offers something unique, from historical epics to intimate family dramas, from speculative wonders to searing social critiques. Let me know in the comments which books from the 2020s have left a lasting impression on you, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoyed.